Okay, hi there friends, this is Shozy and I'm here with my gorgeous unicorn baby, yes! Um, as you could tell, I'm a little excited. And look who I finally found. Yes, I've been looking for one of these everywhere. This guy, this Despicable Me unicorn, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And they were ridiculously priced, couldn't find them. So I finally found one that's like a pillow. And I got him at the thrift store and bring him home. He's in perfect condition. He has a few dots on his back. I don't know what that's about because they're perfectly round. But that's okay. Maybe there's I have no idea. But anyway, that's cool. He's perfect. I love him. He's great. So he's been washed and dried and he's great. And then I do have another white unicorn, but she travels with me in my car because I have Banjo, the little dog from Build-A-Bear, and then I have my old he's a teddy bear that I had since I was 13. One of my old boyfriends gave him to me. And I know you're like, oh, that's sweet. Yeah, it is. So I called him Nivik because it's his name backwards. Anyway, so Nivik, Banjo, and the little, she doesn't have a name, but she's the little white unicorn. So I have to bring her in. But I have to get him a basket because I have this great white rug, as you can see, that I got for really inexpensive. I don't even remember where I got this from. Yeah, I have no clue. I don't remember. But I think I got it from a thrift store, brought it home, washed it, and it's perfect. And this is, of course, a thrifty find, too. And the only thing that's not thrift store is his shoes and his onesie and actually his unicorn hat or his whatever headband. And then, yeah, that's the only things that aren't. And the decals on the two pictures in the back, those are from the dollar store. But anyway, because everything else is thrift store. The little shorts with a little ruffle, this little bear, it's actually like a bear like vest, but it's like soft, and you can see it has little, right here you can see it has little ears. And yeah, that's, oh, and he has a diaper on too, and the diaper is an Honest diaper, and I got that from my friend who lives in Tucson. Reborns are the best. And so he has that on, and that's brand new. But other than that, everything else is thrifty find, so that's kind of cool. But he was created by Special Snowflake Nursery, and he's the Libby kit, in case you guys were wondering what he is. He's a very large baby. Usually people make Libbies into girls, and they're really wonderful, but I've always wanted him to be a boy. Ever since I got him, I was like, this is a boy. This is a boy for me. And he was going to be a redhead, but then I won this great contest with Special Snowflake Nursery and for a painted kit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, then I'm doing a fantasy. I'm doing a fantasy one. And she did this remarkable kit. He's got like a pearlescent skin tone. If you notice, his skin tone is not like mine. This is my skin tone. His is really, really light. Do you see that? He has like a pearlescent skin tone. He has stars on him. See, she put stars all over him. He has them on his arm. Where are they? Here they are. Here, there's some on his hand, top of his hand. They're on his arm too, up here. They're on the side of his head. He has a mane as well. If I just move that, you can see his mane. Isn't that cool? Beautiful. And then his eyebrows are very intricate. These little dots are they're like raindrops on him. His lips and the stars. And if his mouth wasn't pinched together like that, he would actually look like one of my sons when they were babies, because they were very all my sons were really chubby, except for RT. He wasn't really. He was only a little over 7 pounds, so he wasn't really that chubby, but Zach and Josh were. Oh my gosh, they were huge, huge babies, massive. So, Zachy was over 10 pounds. So, anyways, what I had to do was, well, I put him together because she sent him to me unpainted, and she sent another horn with him, and it looked too much like a party horn to me, and nothing against it, but it was very frilly, and I could still maybe use it. I'm keeping it, of course, because I might use it. But when I saw these ears at Walgreens, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is what I need for him. So I went ahead and got it, and then I kind of broke it down a little bit to fit around his head a little bit better. Eventually I'll make him probably a horn and maybe permanently attach it. I just don't want to make it too terribly big because I don't want it to get broken off, of course. And then I created his eyelashes. They were black. You can't really tell from this angle, but they're mostly silver. And then they have a little bit of blue. It's mostly blue, like confetti blue, like glitter on them as well, but you can't really tell again from this angle. But I couldn't find the eyelashes that I wanted, and I didn't want them to be black. Now they look black here, isn't that weird? But from on top you can tell, well, probably because I didn't paint the underneath. I only painted the top of them, that's why. So I should have painted the bottom, but it was difficult to kind of paint them. So I should have probably painted the underneath. Oh, well, that's okay. But and then I had to stuff him, and I'd never done that before. I'd never actually put together a reborn, and I had bought all the glass beads. My friend Emzy's Reborns, she told me what I needed to do, how many glass beads to order, how many pounds, and then she said, go watch one of my videos, and for putting together, I think, Draven or one of the other ones. And so I did, and watched a few of her videos to kind of get an idea, and then I'd already watched some other videos. So he does have three bags of glass beads, basically. I used 3 of my old knee highs, and I tripled them when I put them together. Like I put the glass beads in them, tied the knot, pulled it back over again, and tied another knot, and then pulled it back over again, and then tied a third knot. So they're like tripled, so that there's no way glass beads are going to get out and roam around inside his body. So there's 2 here, there's 1 here and 1 up here, and then there's 1 in the back of his head. But I also put polyfill, of course, started putting polyfill in his head before I even started putting the glass beads in, because I didn't want them to leave any kind of a mark or residue inside of his head. And then he has a lot of like polyfill, but I didn't have polyfill. I couldn't find my polyfill anywhere. I can't find anything anywhere today to save my soul. I barely found his body. So I went ahead, I know this is going long, but I went ahead and used what I had, which was quilt batting. So, because I'm not going to use this quilt batting for anything right now. And I've had it for a while, so I went ahead and just cut it all apart, cut it to pieces, pulled it apart, and used it. So he's pretty sturdy. I have no idea how many pounds he weighs, but I'd say he weighs at least 5-6 pounds at least, because he has, oh, guy, you know what? He weighs more than that. He weighs more than that, because I ordered, no, wait a minute, maybe he might not. I ordered 5 pounds of glass beads, and I didn't use all of them. So he probably weighs 4.5-5 pounds. Something like that, I would say, because he's a heavy, you know, because the head already was heavy as it was, and the limbs and that kind of thing, because they're long. These are long limbs. He's got like a 21 or 22 inch body. He is a long, big baby. So I've not really tried to hold him too much. I've just tried to, I've changed him twice, positioned him a couple of times to take some photos and that sort of thing, because I want to put him in a basket, and I don't want to hold him too much because his paint is very special. They're not Genesis heat set paints, they are acrylics, so I want to be very careful with him. Besides, he's a fantasy baby, so you don't really play a lot with fantasy babies. Play with them, you know what I'm saying. So I just want to kind of put him in clothing and then change him every once in a while. I don't want to, because I don't want to mess up his beautiful patina, basically. And I'm really worried about these shoes too, because they're pretty dark, so I'd probably take them off. But his details are just incredible, and the kit itself is just incredible. Look at the kit. I mean, that's pretty cool. So then, you know, you paint it, and on top of that, you get the second artist to come in. You get the first artist to sculpt it, you get the second artist to paint it, and you're like, wow, you know. And then you get Joe Schmo me off the street to come in and stuff him. I think he turned out pretty darn good. That's what I'm saying to you. All right, so now I feel more confident. It only took me about an hour and a half or so to use, and I use zip ties and all that, and I had gotten all that from Bountiful Baby beforehand. So I took me about, like I said, an hour and a half, probably 2 hours to really sit there and cut everything apart, stuff him, put the zip ties in the right way, and all that kind of thing, because I took out the body comes, it's very articulated. It's really cool. Look at this. It's like, you know, I like it a lot better than Abe's body. Actually, I'd like to exchange Abe's body, because his is almost impossible. You can't move Abe's legs and arms. I hate that. So I'm going to exchange Abe's body one of these days. I'm going to give him a new body. And then, of course, my little Emmy Licorice has, I don't think she has any kind of beads, glass beads in her arms at all, her arms and legs. So she needs some glass beads. So I'm going to work on that with her. Take her apart one of these days and re-put her back together again. So, you know, here I am on a roll. Or a sandwich or whatever. So this is Caspian Lucius for you to look at. And I hope you like him. I just think unicorns are really pretty, and they're also in the Narnia series. So I really thought that he should be, you know, I'd like to do a lion next. I think that'd be really fun. But I'm not going to do any more right this second. I have a teeny tiny one that I'd like to do one of these days. But that'll be me. I'll just be painting it myself. First of all, I got to get my room in order. And then the rest of my house. That'd be great. All right. Okay, well, you guys have a good day. I hope you enjoyed him. I know I love him to death. I think he's awesome sauce. And I just got to find I have a really cool basket that I bought for him probably. And I gave it to put my other dolls in it. So now he doesn't have it. So I've got to find something cool to put him in so that nobody touches him. My cats or anything. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for liking and subscribing and putting up with my long videos. Okay, real quick, I found a drawer for him. Yes, it was under my bed. It's a drawer. And it's ironic because I slept in a drawer when I came home. Well, you know, from the hospital and everything. I got a splinter even. Look at that. Yes. From this drawer. On the outside, not the inside. So he won't get a splinter. So. But anyway, he's all set. Now he has his drawer. So this is cool. I like the drawer even better. All right. It's unusual, you know, because he's an unusual baby. So he should have an unusual place to sleep. And a drawer is perfect. Kind of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe theme-ish. Yes. Uh-huh. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye. Take care.